Hey, what's up guys? So, Uniden just released a new firmware update for the R1 and the R3. It is firmware version 1.46. Now, 1.46 brings a lot of changes and improvements to the detector. This one has been worked on for quite a while. There's been a lot of testing, development, ideas, bugs fixed, new features that are being added, etc. And so, with that said, let's just go ahead and dive right into it. Now, starting off, one of the biggest changes is the addition of the ability to detect the MRCD and the MRCT. The multi-radar radar guns, I've done a whole video talking about them. They're basically a difficult to detect, low-powered radar gun that you need a detector that is specifically designed to detect it. And the R3 and the R1 with the new firmware update is able to do it.
MRCD.
Additionally, Uniden has added a couple different custom tones for MRCD, which is nice so that you can easily tell the difference between an MRCD alert and maybe just another K-band alert. Now, the MRCD originally started overseas, and it's slowly starting to make its way over here in North America. And you can see the locations right here on screen as far as where it's currently in use. Now, if you have it in use in your area, you can go into the options now and turn on MRCD. However, if you don't have it used in your area, I would recommend leaving it off for two reasons. Number one, you are going to see some MRCD falses if you have it enabled. We're noticing it falsing to some speed signs as well as some automatic door openers, it seems. It doesn't seem to false as much as some of the other detectors, but it does still false nonetheless. The second thing is if you have MRCD enabled on your detector, it will reduce K-band sensitivity somewhat. So if you're looking for maximum performance on K-band, I would recommend leaving MRCD turned off. Additionally, we've noticed that there's a couple MRCD sources that the detector is not able to detect, and we think it has to do with the fact that the detector has a hardware limitation to where it's not able to scan on K-band below 24.050, and if the MRCD is transmitting lower down in that range, the detector is not going to be able to detect it, and we think that's the reason why it's detecting some of the MRCD sources, but not all of them in testing. Now, Uniden has also given us the ability to lock out MRCD alerts, which is nice in case you come across a false alert, such as a speed sign, for example, that triggers an MRCD alert. You have the ability to lock it out, which is great. Now, MRCD lockouts are off by default. The way that you turn them on is you go into the settings and you turn on lockouts for Ka-band, which is another new option that I'll be sharing about here in just a second. But if you enable lockouts for Ka-band, you're also going to get lockouts available for MRCD. Now, finally, the last thing is the alert priority. If the detector is detecting multiple different types of signals, it's going to alert in this order: laser, MRCD, Ka, K-band, and X-band. Now, as I just mentioned, we now have the ability to lock out Ka-band as well. This wasn't an option before because Ka-band lockouts can be kind of risky. However, there are some speed signs that transmit on Ka-band. So for those of you guys that encounter that, you now have the ability to go into the menu options and change it from the default of lockouts only for X and K-band to also now having the ability to lock out X, K, and Ka-band. Then once you do that, if you come across a stationary Ka-band false, be very sure that it's a false alert and not a legitimate alert. You just double press the mute button and it will lock out that Ka-band source. And as I mentioned earlier, that will also give you the ability to lock out MRCD. So Ka-band lockouts and MRCD lockouts are built into one setting, but in the menu it will only say Ka-band lockouts. Speaking of lockouts, they have also increased the amount of lockouts that we have available. Before, it was only 200 lockouts, and people were concerned about maybe running out of lockouts potentially, and so Uniden has now bumped that up to 500 lockouts total. Similarly, if you want to manually mark a location as an alert so the detector alerts you every time you drive by, they've boosted that from 200 user points up to 500 user points as well. There's now also the option for the detector to alert you when it detects an initial signal, and so the beeping that it's alerting you to is not the same signal continuing on, but hey, there is another signal present, which could be another police officer up the road. It could be the officer switching from his front antenna to his rear. The idea here is when the detector detects a second Ka-band signal and the frequency is more than 5 megahertz apart, which is designed just to avoid alerting to the same signal as the frequency fluctuates over time, which is normal. When it detects a new signal, it will actually give you a new bogey alert tone, which you can customize, and there's a number of different choices for the alert tones. Now, there's also been a change to TSF, the traffic sensor filter. The traffic sensor filter has changed over time with different firmware versions. Now, as of firmware version 1.25, it was different, but with firmware 1.26, Uniden changed it. Now, one of the issues was for people who encounter certain traffic sensors, particularly you guys who live in Colorado, you were noticing, even with the traffic sensor filter enabled, the detector is still going to be alerting constantly. It's not actually filtering them out. So, with 1.46, the traffic sensor filter has been reverted to the style used in 1.25. So for you guys driving in Colorado, you can enable TSF and now it will successfully filter out those false alerts. Next, for those of you guys who've been encountering some false alerts on laser with your detector, they have improved the false alert filtering on laser to help cut down on false alerts. It's not totally solved, but it has been improved, and it is something that they're continuing to work on. And a lot of the other things that I'm talking about, they're either continuing to work on those as well, and there's new stuff that's going to be coming on down the line as well. But for those of you guys who've been encountering false alerts with your R1 or R3, this should help reduce many of them. Moving on to red light cameras and speed cameras. We now have the ability to not only mute the alerts, but also delete individual red light camera and speed camera alerts as well. And so if you want to mute the signal, or if you want to delete it altogether so it doesn't notify you when you come back in the future, you have the ability to do both. The way that it works is if you want to mute the alert, you just short press the button to mute or press it again to unmute. If you'd like to delete the signal altogether, you long press the mute button, and then you tap the mute button a second time to confirm and then delete that alert. Speaking of the red light camera and speed camera database, that is being updated as well. So we now have the latest updates for RLCs and speed cams. And the latest update also is going to apply to the DFR7 and DFR9 that also have a GPS chip. And so their GPS databases are being updated as well. Moving on to the display, there's been a change to dark mode. Now if you have the detector turned on to dark mode, where the display is off until you get an alert, there's going to be a little dot that's blinking at the bottom of the screen, and it's going to be slowly moving around the bottom of the screen. And so this way, if you have the detector enabled in dark mode, you can just glance at the display, and just with the little dot, you can tell that yes, the detector is turned on, and you're not worried about what if it's turned off or a cable's unplugged or something. So that's a nice little touch. Additionally, there's now the option to adjust the brightness for dark mode. So if you want the detector to light up at full brightness or maybe a reduced brightness level, you now have an option in the settings to adjust how bright the detector gets in dark mode. Now, speaking of the display, there's been an issue with the color OLED displays in the R1 and the R3, where if the detector is run for many hours on end, months and months of driving, eventually you can get some burn-in, where if you have the same thing being displayed on screen, eventually that can actually burn into the display and will show up there kind of in the background as a ghost image, even once the display is showing something else. And to help alleviate this issue, there's been a number of changes to the display. The first thing is they've changed the default color for the display from blue to red, because red is going to be a little bit easier on the display pixels instead of blue, so the default color is now red. Additionally, when the detector starts up, the Uniden logo at boot up, the color of that is now going to match the display color itself. And so it's not going to be always blue anymore. It's now going to match the display color that you choose for your detector. Additionally, they have slightly reduced the maximum brightness level for the detector's displays. And so, again, the detector display, it's not going to be working quite as hard. Personally, I don't notice any issues with it. It works fine even in the daytime, but they did reduce it slightly. Next, the voltage display location, basically the information on the left-hand side, that can stay constant for a long period of time, and so it's actually going to slightly start to shift a little bit as far as the location over on the left side of the screen. It's not something you're really going to notice, but it is something that they're doing slowly over time just to avoid the same pixels being turned on and off. And then finally, the AMPM logo. If you have the R3 that has the time capability, thanks to the GPS chip, that has been changed as well. And again, that's just there to help with any potential burn-in issues. So as you can see, there's been a lot of changes. I mean, MRCD stuff, lockouts, display changes, dark mode, a whole bunch of stuff, right? If you'd like to go ahead and update your detector, I'll have links in the video description to where you can go to download the update, tutorials as far as how to apply the updates for both Windows and Mac users. And then I'm also going to have a tutorial that goes over the detector's settings and options that has been updated now for 1.46 with all the new menu options, such as the dark mode brightness controls, the MRCD stuff, the new lockouts available for KA and MRCD, etc. And so there's going to be a bunch of information down in the video description for you. So yeah, there we go. There is the latest long-awaited update for the Uniden R1 and the R3. Thanks so much for watching, and a big thank you to Uniden for all of these changes that have come out to the detector. These are pretty much some of the most popularly requested changes to the detectors. There's more, of course, and there's more development that continues to go on behind the scenes, but I know you guys have been pretty eager, myself as well, to get this update. So here it is. Go ahead and update, and let me know your experience, and enjoy 1.46. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Now, MRCD lockouts are off by default, but if you'd like to enable them,